After the temperature dropped, my husband shrank by 5 centimeters. In order to defend that bit of his pitiful self-esteem, he gradually became impatient toward me. As long as I showed even a little bit of desire, he would immediately urge me to wash clothes or cook. Up to now, he has already not shared a bed with me for 2 consecutive months. These 2 months, I became pale and haggard, gloomy, and unhappy. My parents-in-law saw this scene and thought that their son did not like me anymore, so they also began to follow their son and target me everywhere. They did not know that the drop in temperature was not a natural phenomenon, but a sign that the extreme cold apocalypse was about to arrive. In my previous life, I was tortured by them until I went mad, and in the end froze to death alive in the icy snow. I originally thought my life would end here, but when I opened my eyes again, I unexpectedly discovered that I had returned to 1 month before the extreme cold apocalypse. Suddenly opening my eyes, I saw my husband Xingyu standing beside the sofa. Since you're awake, then hurry up and make the meal. In a while, Mom and Dad should come back. This scene was so familiar. 1 month ago, while I was mopping the floor, my foot slipped, my head hit the corner of the table, and I fainted. Xingyu's expression at this moment was exactly the same as at that time. Seeing that I had no reaction, Xingyu couldn't help but reach out and pull me up from the sofa. Jiang ran, look at the clock. It's already 5:11. Mom and Dad will come back at 5:30 to eat. What are you still dawdling for? After throwing down this command, he went back to the room by himself to play games. Xingyu had worked out for many years. His hand strength was not small. The pain from my arm being pinched just now was extremely real. My heart couldn't help but start pounding, and I hurriedly took out my phone. The date indeed showed it was the weekend from 1 month ago. At this time, a news notification was pushed to my phone. Opening it, it was also content related to a war somewhere, exactly the same as before the apocalypse. Those melodramatic memories poured into my mind. In my previous life, Xingyu was laid off during the wave of layoffs. When looking for a new job, he kept hitting walls everywhere, but he was the only son in a rural family. Once his parents heard that their son was at home, and that I, as the daughter-in-law, was actually not serving their son and still had to go to work and couldn't cook for him, they became furious. They directly packed their things and came to live at my home, under the name of taking care of the 2 of us, but in reality they only turned Xingyu into a complete and utter useless person. Unfortunately, at that time I was trapped by the so-called many years of past affection and did not quickly cut things off. Now, in my heart surged up a feeling like being pardoned. I was reborn. Heaven finally heard my unwillingness and gave me a chance to start over. I looked around the surroundings with attachment. The redwood furniture left by my parents was still intact, not burned away for warmth. Outside the window was also a bright and sunny scene. Looking at the weather app, it showed the current temperature was 47 degrees Celsius. Actually, even in midsummer, this temperature was abnormally high. Therefore, when facing the sudden drop in temperature half a month later, people not only were not alert, but instead showed a bit of joy. When it first cooled down, everyone thought it was the heavens giving a day off, letting people ease a bit in the intense summer heat. But after that day, the temperature could not climb back up anymore. At the beginning it dropped 5 degrees at a time, later it became 10 degrees. Later still, waking up one day, they found that it had snowed in midsummer, and the temperature had already dropped to minus 30 degrees. Only then did people panic. At first, adding a bit more money could still get takeout. Later, everyone developed a sense of crisis, and could only go out to buy things themselves. At that time, I discussed with Xingyu, saying that while we could still go out now, we should go to the supermarket together to buy some supplies. Who knew that my father-in-law and mother-in-law were lying on the door listening? The 2 directly kicked the door open and almost wanted to strangle me while questioning why I wanted to harm their son. Do you know that in such cold people will die? If you want to go, you go yourself. Let this vicious woman experience what it feels like to freeze to